We first met, it was on a chat site online.
We actually talked for a while, and then I actually stopped talking because I didn't think I had a chance. A few months went by, and then I just started again. I said, no, I'm gonna try this. And when I met her and saw her, she just glowed, and it sparked in me. That's it, that's who I want. That winter, I took her down to the waterfront, and we were down walking, and I had the ring in my pocket.
It was wet out, it had just rained, and he tried to get down on one knee, and I had to stop him.
And she said yes.
He did it right, and he asked my parents, and I felt cherished. I felt protected in it, and I had never felt that before. Our kids were all relatively in the same age, and they just got along so well. We had our time together, but not very much, and we tried to find interests for ourselves, but it really seemed to be all about the kids. The early signs that I saw that things just weren't quite right were about my son. I wanted more of a connection. I wanted him to help build him up. I got the sense that he just didn't quite know how.
So I did pull back. I wasn't sure how to do it. I didn't ask or get the help that I should have.
I think from there we just had a string of really rough life stuff. Home being broken into twice, both of my parents passing away, his mother passing away.
Which was huge. I was very close to my mom. And I was also very close to her parents. And when her dad passed and then her mom, I just pulled farther and farther back. I just internally couldn't take it.
It was a very rough year for us, and it pulled us down further, and it pulled him away further. After losing my mom, I turned to my husband. I wanted comfort. I wanted someone to hold me. And I remember laying there in bed after my dad died and during the months that my mom was ill and saying, can you please just hold me? And he would just say, I can't. There was just no compassion, no connection. There's one thing about being alone, but there's another thing about being alone with someone laying in the bed next to you, crying yourself to sleep, knowing that the man that's supposed to be taking care of you won't. I knew that there was someone in there that loved me. I just didn't know where he went. And it was Easter, and it was the season of life, and here we are dealing with so much death, and our marriage was dying.
It was turmoil. It was inside. I was just going nuts. I just kept pushing stuff back internally just to get through what I was doing at that moment. I was hiding because I do have a porn addiction. Pride kicked in huge. I kept hidden. So it was easier to do that than to break free and come forward and say, this is what's going on. Nobody knew that inside I was completely upside down. When it came out and everything, I buried myself more into work.
He was at church 12 hours a week, working probably 60 hours a week.
That was my way to hide.
I really internalized it. I thought that it was me.
And between that and spending money, that's what I was hiding.
I didn't really realize how much a porn addiction can affect someone.
Finally, I just got to the point where I felt I just can't do it. I can't do what she wants. And so I went in and grabbed some of my stuff, and I was out of there.
When Jim left, I spent a lot of my time trying to figure out how to fix him.
I actually, for quite a few months, slept in my truck at work. During that time, I was completely emotionless, not wanting to talk to anybody. It got to the point where I couldn't even see my kids anymore. That's how bad it got. I actually lost my job. I was down to the bottom.
And it came down to everyone around me saying, you need to file for divorce. You need to get rid of this guy.
My best friend confronted me, said I need to talk to you. And I met and talked to your wife yesterday. My stomach just dropped. Something started stirring in me. From that moment on, I was thinking more and more of us and starting to slowly be shown and realize what I had done. Praying again and talking to him again, starting to show me this is who you're supposed to be. I'm not hiding anymore. I had come to the conclusion at that point that I'm done with the past. I'm over with the past. That night, during our group session, I just let it all out. The most releasing night I've ever felt. I was out of rope. It was time to stop. Thank God for my wife's persistence, my best friend's boldness, and the soft hearts of the ones that took me in. And are showing me what it truly means to be a Christian. I have hope. I have love. I have a redemption through Christ that already died for me.
Almost immediately after I stopped trying to make him change, God changed him. I needed to trust God with my husband and the situation altogether. His perfect timing allowed me to watch the transformation from my stable ground at that time, allowed my kids to witness the power God has over our lives. If I had to go through this to give them hope, then it was worth it. I love this man. I love seeing God in him now.
Jim and Jenny, the two of you have come before all of us and before God and have expressed your love for one another through your testimony. And you have shown your love by joining hands and making promises through faith and devotion each to the other. You then sealed this promise by the giving and receiving of these rings. And so it is with great joy today and with blessings from God that I now pronounce you husband and wife. This is where, do you need me to tell you, kiss the bride?